good people have the success that you have had. I love your humble beginnings, which we're going to get to in a minute. It's 9 seasons on this show, though. Let's talk about this. You have seen such a wide range of talent, young entrepreneurs that come on this show. What characteristics do you look for that really grab your attention when somebody stands in?
I look for entrepreneurs that, they don't think the sharks have this kind of like, pixie dust or magic dust. They know that they're going to succeed whether we're part of it or not. They're problem solvers, and I have to like the person. Simple as that. Whether you're talking to a kid who's passing a resume by, a boss, or an investor, if I'm going to sit next to you or call you the next 8 hours a day for the next 5 years, you have to like a person. The social skills that need to be there.
Right. You also have to make sure they know how to learn and not take it.
They have to learn. They're problem solvers, and they have discipline and what I call grind as well. They work just as hard as everybody else, or harder.
Oh.
Well, we have a clip of the show. I'm so obsessed with the show. I think you know this. Everybody. I mean, everyone here is pitching you something. Just not getting live. Just saying. So we have a clip of the show where you are speaking with a young, very smart entrepreneur about her fashion app.
All right.
Let's take a look.
All right, so here's my thoughts on it. I had the honor of going to Kenya with President Obama 2 years ago. And believe it or not, Shark Tank is big there. You're like a lightning bolt for entrepreneurship because in that continent, literally women have carried the economy on their heads and their backs.
Absolutely.
My biggest challenge is I'm a target.
A target?
In California, there's a certain law that anybody can walk up to a product that is being sold in the public market and they can create a class action lawsuit. And dealing with 80 or 100 or 300 designers, there's a lot in that vetting process, and I become almost a liability for you.
And let me guess, your following statement was, and because of that, I'm out.
But it's hard, to say that to such a great woman who was a designer. Yeah. But with all the logistics for making overseas, you don't know if there are compliance and a lot of other things.
Sure.
Very hard to vet.
Pitfalls.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Sure.
You're no stranger to hard work. I mean, obviously that's why you wrote the book, Rise and Grind. You have built everything from nothing. As a matter of fact, FUBU, your very famous clothing line, went from 2 sewing machines in your mom's house to over $6 billion with a B dollars in sales. And it wasn't because anybody handed it to you.
No, it was a good old mom, and it was, getting my grind on, right? And being very disciplined and setting goals and acting and learning and then repeating it at very affordable steps. It was one hat at a time, one shirt at a time.
But exactly how? Like, step that out for us.
Well, that's
because I think we all really want to know how.
Well, that's the concept of the book, right? There is no one way, and I've studied 15 subjects in the book, and they all have the same thing in common, but they all execute them a different way. The Damon John at 20 years old can sleep for 3 hours a night and work, all day. The Damon John at 48 years old cannot do that, so there's a different technique that you have to do when you're rising and grinding. And I studied in this book 15 different subjects, and I want to know what's the exact things they do the first 90 minutes of the day, the last 90 minutes of the day. And I found that a lot of them do some things like they'll wake up in the morning, they will not answer any emails for the first hour because the minute you start answering emails, you're taking care of everybody else's problems, right? They'll look at their inbox as their defense, their outbox as their offense. They'll send out emails.
Interesting.
Right? They won't go on Instagram because, you get depressed when you see how everybody's all beautiful, having a good time, and they're richer than you, right? And younger than you. Then they won't do that. And then also schedule time with their families. We tell our families, we'll get back to you later and we'll see you later. We never see them. Right? Yeah. But you'll schedule everybody else, you'll be on everybody else's time. You'll be there the time the train leaves, the time your boss wants a meeting, the restaurant at 8:30. So there's a lot of different things that people do in this book that you can apply for yourself.
So what does GRIND stand for? I know Rise.
Well, I have an acronym for GRIND. It's just get up and do it. It's resilience. It's I forgot it right now. I'm right here talking to you guys. Drive, determination. There's a couple other things. But insistent. You have to insist. And I didn't start creating this book because I wanted to write the book. I went out and I said, 9 years on Shark Tank, I'm investing in about 80 different companies. I have a little 2-year-old. I have my own life to take care of. How do I master what I'm doing today? And I started to ask everybody else, what are their secrets, right? And their techniques. I found out also, you know what they do? A lot of people really ask why about their health in depth. Really successful people do that. They go into depth about their health. And throughout asking my friends this, I found out I had stage 2 cancer in my thyroid throughout this process.
Wait.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm cancer free.
Oh my God.
I'm good, right?
Okay.
But it was the process, right? You know, like I would go and get physicals all the time, and none of that was detected. But all of my friends who are super successful, they make their health their number one priority.
Well, because without your health, how are you going to be successful?
Right, but everybody thinks success is about money and everything, right?
For a checkup in years.
Oh, Kim.
See that? Entrepreneurs take care of everybody else but themselves.
Your grind was different then than it is today.
My
Your
grind was
then,
way different.
you were working
than it
two
was-
jobs. You were hustling on the streets with your hats and your T-shirts, and you were forcing. And I've talked about this before. Who really got you out there for everybody to see your FUBU was LL Cool J.
LL Cool J wore my product. He wore it in the Gap ad, and he was saying FUBU in the Gap ad. He wore it everywhere.
But it's because you insisted. You followed him around.
I did. I stalked LL Cool J.
I did.
Absolutely.
Which that wasn't handed to you. I mean, you made yourself known. You were determined, and you weren't going to back down.
Absolutely. And the most important thing I think that people don't realize is you have to be you have to set your own goals, and you have to read them every single day. Because if not, you're allowing everybody else to set goals for you.
Sure.
You're letting everybody else tell you can't get that education, or you can't go grow to $1 million, or you're going to embarrass yourself, or you're going to embarrass us.
Sure.
And everybody else who is successful reads their goals daily. And my goals, I read 7 of them, right? I mean, 10 of them. Excuse me. 7 expire in 6 months, and 3 expire in 5 years, 10 years, and 20.
So let me ask you this, because Kimmy, we touched on this. Hunter's at school right now. He's chasing that entrepreneur spirit. Yeah. But as a father, because you have 2 older children and you have a little one, 2-year-old, how? Because we all want to teach our children the grind.
Oh,
but you have found
that's my little
dad. Oh.
I cut off Peppa Pig right then, and then she decided that she wanted to have a discussion about it.
Oh no, it's serious. Peppa Pig is like Taylor Swift to 3-year-olds.
How do you father? What's your perspective?
You know, you really have to lead by example. I didn't listen to my mother most of my life growing up, and then I would turn around and say to myself, wait a minute, I did every single thing that she did, so I followed her. So it really is by leading by example. It is allowing your kids to make these mistakes, you know, and take affordable steps. But that's how I've been raising my girls, and my wife, my ex-wife, they've been doing an amazing job. And it's also having great partners, because that's the best partner to ever have, a strategic partner, you know?
Sure. Because it doesn't matter, because I would find myself saying things to my children that my parents said to me.
Exactly.
And I'm like, whoa, that sounds a lot like my dad.
My mother is and always has been a very hardworking person who went out to self-educate herself, and she taught me the same thing. That was her grind.
Your mother taught you the grind.
My mother.
It doesn't start from nowhere.
100%.
And now you're teaching your kids the grind by example.
Well,
you're amazing.
I will tell everybody you should grind on, because look at your own life and look at the patterns that you set. And I love those. I love the email, the Instagram stuff. Kim's still in shock over now.
I know. Wait, really? You don't go to Instagram?
Can't do it in the morning. You cannot do it in the morning. You have to get up, you have to exercise, you have to set your goals, and you have to be very selfish for yourself and envision, you know, once a week, think about what your obituary would say about you. Are you living the life that you want your obituary to say?
Right. What's the legacy you'd like to leave? And don't tell me it's about looking cute on Instagram. There's so many more benefits.
Be very simple. What's your grind? What do you do?
Oh my God.
90 minutes a day.
I do what you. I was analyzing myself I was looking over the segment. I'm like, I get up at 4:30. The first thing I do is put into myself. I feel like when I sleep, I'm depositing into when I wake up, I have all this good energy, and I don't want to deplete it on somebody else. I'd rather make a deposit back.
What do you mean? We're not good enough for you?
Oh, there you go. Welcome to our world, Damon.
You know what?
This every day.
Damon says, watch him on Shark Tank and put your app down. Debbie, it's so funny. Sundays on ABC. By the way, pick up his book. It's wonderful. It'll help you rise and grind and get out there and get it all done. Available. Books are sold. Thank you so much.
You're so awesome. We got a couple products we're going to talk about.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, Kim's got a product next, doesn't she?
Well, we'll talk later, Damon.